We are live. We are live. Welcome to College Football's Peek Around the Corner with your host, Greg Pflugar. We cover everything in college football because we love everything in college football. And if you do us well, please subscribe to our channel. Smash the like button if you like our content. Share the video. Ring the notification bell. If you want to support this college football's Rebel Outpost with a donation, help us keep the lights on and grow the channel, just hit that $ where you make your comment and I will get you super chat as quick as I possibly can. Welcome everybody into the studio that sits on the corner, the very corner of Keith Jackson Parkway and Kurt Gowdy Avenue. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid to become a legend with your comments and with your phone calls. Like we do every year, we do cover some watch party, spring football game watch party, because we are the absolute true college football sickos. And if you feel this is the home for you, please subscribe to our channel and ring that notification bell. Now, my voice is a little bit off because we had a big live show last night. I have not had enough time to recover. I have not had enough time to recover the voice. But I'm interested in watching the Buckeyes. We're going to watch them here. Again, this is not going to be like a typical PATC watch party where I'm calling the plays, I'm reacting to everything, you guys are reacting to everything, and we're going absolutely crazy. There's cheering, there is crying. We're not going to do that. What we're going to do today is overreact. I'm going to overreact to everything I see from the Buckeyes. Negative, positive, because that is what I do. Greg the Gold is going to overreact to everything he says. Now, remember what Greg the Gold has already said about the Buckeyes this year. Very important to keep your eye on the ball. The Buckeyes, Big Ten order finish from Greg the Gold. The Ohio State Buckeyes, #1 in the Big Ten. #1 in the Big Ten. And then they go into the playoffs as the #2 ranked team in the nation. The Longhorns are going to be the #1 team in the nation. The Longhorns going to beat the Buckeyes. Anyway, we'll get to that when we get to that. Everybody settle down. But then I got the Buckeyes, defeating LSU, the Tigers, in the round of 8. I've got the Buckeyes beating the Oregon Ducks. And then I got the Buckeyes beating the Longhorns to become the national champions. And again, this is Greg the Gold. Now, this is my way too early order finish prediction in the Big Ten. This is my prediction for the college football playoffs. I am allowed to change my prediction. What I see in the spring game, what I hear in August camp, there will be an official prediction of the playoffs and of the conference's order of finish prediction during the month of August, early in the month of August. But it's going to take a lot for me to get off the Buckeyes to win it all. But if Julian Sand breaks a leg today, well, I can make a switch up on it. And we're going to go through some things here that on 3, an article that came out this morning, talking about what we should be looking for in the Buckeyes spring football game today. Now, we've already gotten reports this morning. That C.J. Carr, Notre Dame, is looking absolutely fantastic. We've already gotten reports this morning that Darren Mensah is ripping touchdown passes left and right. I see them. I see what you guys are sending me. Notre Dame, they're not going to get beat. The Miami Hurricanes are not going to get beat. My goodness, according to the PATC Einsteins, there's going to be a lot of undefeated teams going into the college football playoffs. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Let me get to a few very kind super chats. LFG, Buckeye Nation, Hollywood Caden, super chat. Thank you for the $2 holler. Appreciate it. LFG, Buckeye Nation, Hollywood Caden, who I think used to be Diesel, Hollywood Diesel Freak Caden, something like that. Thank you, Caden. I appreciate the generosity. Thank you so very much. I appreciate it. Mowing After Dark, he's trying to bait me. Mowing After Dark is upset with me because I'm telling him and I'm telling the nation that Roman Reigns is going to run CM Punk ragged. I don't know when they go after each other. Tonight, tomorrow night, whenever it happens, CM Punk is not getting out of whatever, I think it's the Las Vegas, whatever. CM Punk is not leaving Vegas healthy. That's my Greg DeGold 5-star lock prediction. Mowing After Dark is upset with me, so he's trying to bait me on this. Super chat, Mowing After Dark. We got a kickoff, fair catch. Number 1 looked fantastic in fair catching that kickoff. Mowing After Dark, Greg is so cold, his blood type is Freon. My goodness. He's trying to bait me. Moen wants me to defend. I got the Buckeyes winning the Big Ten championship. I've got the Buckeyes winning the national championship. And what Moen is trying to do, he's trying to bait me and telling you all and reminding you all of that. But I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that the Buckeyes are going to... Oh, I just said it again. Moen baited me once again. Moen After Dark, thank you for the $2 holler. Jeremiah Smith. I don't know if he caught it or if it was a run. First catch for the best receiver in college football, Jeremiah Smith. Did he tweak something on that? Did he tweak? No, he did not tweak anything. He looks mighty healthy out there. And of course, if you're going to have a Buckeye saying something, you're going to have a Wolverine saying something. Bimba 75, 79, go blue in anyone who plays the Bucks. Well, now you're rooting again for the Bucks. Right now, you're rooting for half the team. They make the other half the team not look so good. Bimba 75, 79. Greg, the Buckeye. Holy smokes. We got an I do declare. I've got an update on the I do declares. Buckeye Greg, I do declare that the Ohio State Buckeyes will win the 2026 national championship. Now that's going to be it. Because the Buckeyes are one of the top 2 chalks, we're going to give a valuation of that of probably a 2. Now, again, I did not have time to update the I do declare from the PATC Einsteins. And I will fill that out later tonight or early tomorrow morning. We had a big live show last night. The little general came in from a Mexican country concert. And then we've been busy this morning. And then I had to set up for the Buckeye sprint. Ooh. Number 24. 24 looks like he had a little juice there. Ooh. That's Jackson. That's a longtime player for the Florida Gators. Transfer. He played with Jaden Ball last year in the backfield. Jaden Ball became the superstar at Florida. So Jackson moved on, transferred to the Buckeyes. We'll probably give the Buckeyes some depth. All right. Anyways, I do declare We'll have this all caught up. But these are the examples of that have come in. OPD done, LSU Ole Miss, viewership 12 million plus. Badgers will win the Axe, Willie. And Illini, Ted goes. Illini goes to the college football playoffs. And those are the valuation points. That is the points you can win or you can lose, getting it right, getting it wrong. And again, we'll keep track of that during the season. Now, we've already gotten a bunch of I do declare comments. And I might, Jeremiah Smith, I might have to make an executive decision to say I do declares. We're going to do them on Tuesdays and Thursday this week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday of the next week. I want to give everybody an opportunity to be on a live show, to be able to do it. So I don't want to limit it too much, but I don't know if I can keep up with the everyday bookkeeping on it. I'm going to try. Now, last night I could not do it, so it's going to be a challenge. Scarlet against Gray. Scarlet's got the football, and they're moving it. They're absolutely moving it. Julian Sane is looking fantastic out in the flat. Again, Jackson, 24, the transfer from Florida, gets it, and they get some more yardage. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Okay, Buckeye Greg, you are booked in. We're going to get you in that. Thank you, Buckeye Greg. I appreciate your generosity, your friendship, your kindness. Thank you so very much. I appreciate it. You are one of the original PATC members. Thank you very much. Julian Sains has moved the team down to the 19-yard line. Again, Jackson's getting the football. Jackson's going to score! Now, did they give it to him? Or are they going to count him down because they're not really doing the full tackling? He bounced it out. They're not going to give him the TD. No, they're not going to give him the TD. They're going to give him 4 yards on that. They're going to give him 4 yards on that. And we've got a massive super chat from the incredible, edible Bill G. Oklahoma State Cowboy. The Oklahoma State Cowboy. That's a 15-yard line. Tight ends in motion. Bill G. Heading out to see Oklahoma State spring scrimmage later today. Good luck, Buckeyes. Oh, man. Is that on ESPN Plus? I don't know. Probably not. Bill G, we need a report tomorrow from you. Or if we have to cover late breaking news later tonight. Man, is that going to be a very interesting spring scrimmage? Bill Conley has the Oklahoma State Cowboys #1 most interesting, potentially earth-shattering portal class. And I agree with Bill Conley on that. Eric Morse, Drew Mestemaker, Caleb Hawkins, Wyatt the receiver. All coming from North Texas, all shattering numbers. The Buckeyes are at the 9-yard line. The Buckeyes are at the 9-yard lines. Bill G, no TV. There will be highlights on YouTube, I believe. Thank you, Bill G. Thank you for the incredible support. I appreciate it, sir. Thank you for the $20 holla. I appreciate it very much. Thank you. Yeah, we're going to get into it right now. Buckeye Greg, we're going to get into it right now. Let's get into it right now. Since the spring game has already started. Things to look for. 2nd and goal for the Buckeyes. 2nd and goal for the Buckeyes. Scarlet is trying to score some points. First drive of the most important scrimmage. Oh, that should have been a sack. That should be holding. That should be holding on the right tackle. They got to call holding on the right tackle there. They did not. They missed the call. They missed the call. Holy smokes. Holy smokes, what is going on? Third and goal. Saying back to pass. No, nothing there. Nothing there. They're going to have to kick the field goal. Scarlett is going to have to kick the field goal. My goodness. First of all, let's get into this. The Buckeyes 2025 record 12-2. Again, this is from On 3. Top returners, quarterback Julian Sain. They're going to go for it. Fourth and goal. The Buckeyes are going for it. Sain back. Jackson! No. Get him! Get 82! He's going to... No, he was not going to be able to get in. Gray has stopped Scarlett. Gray has stopped Scarlett. Oh, they're giving him the touchdown. No, he would have been crushed. No. Boo. Terrible call. Terrible call. Unbelievable bad call. I
feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
The Buckeyes did not score a touchdown on that. They gave it to Julian Sain. Okay. Is this a signal that the Buckeyes are going to baby Julian Sain? Are they babying Sain on this? I want to hear from Buckeye Nation. He did not get in. He would not have gotten in. He would have been rocked, 14 held up. They gave their star-studded quarterback a touchdown on the first drive in the spring football game because they're afraid that maybe, just maybe, he's going to be destroyed because they couldn't get the ball in the end zone on the first drive. Is that what we're seeing right now? Or is Greg the Gold overreacting in the spring football game? We've already got high controversy in this spring football game. All right, let's get back to the Buckeye here. Thank you for the Super Chat, Evil Badger. I want to give it the time that you deserve. First, let me go to the Buckeyes, what we're looking for. And then I'll get right to you, Evil Badger. Thank you so much, Evil Badger, for your generosity once again. Appreciate it. Top returners, quarterback Julian Sain, running back Bo Jackson, Brandon Innes, Jeremiah Smith, Philip Daniels, offensive lineman, Heinzman, Luke Montgomery, and other players. Jalen McLean, defensive back. Notable newcomers, 5-star wide receiver Chris Henry Jr., as Buckeye Greg mentioned earlier in the chat. Oh, what a throw! Now that was one hell of a throw there. That was a great throw. UTSA wide receiver Devin McCune, Northwestern tight end Hunter Welsing, Alabama defensive lineman James Smith. Spring storyline. The NFL Combine in Indianapolis this year was highlighted by a wave of Buckeye products. There's no question that Ohio State has plenty of talent to its roster, including quarterback Julian Sain, wide receiver Jeremiah Smith, but the Buckeyes lost key pieces on their defense. Sonny Styles, the great linebacker, Caden McConnell, Arville Reese, secondary. Caleb Downs, safety. Ryan Day worked to fill those needs in the portal, adding Alabama defensive lineman James Smith, Alabama linebacker, incomplete. Rousseau, Florida State safety, Errol Little Jr., and Duke safety Terry Moore. If those additions can fill the necessary holes on defense, the Buckeyes offensive line can take the next step. They can contend for a national championship. We've got a super chat, very kind super chat from Ryan Willard. Scarlett trying to tie it up. 3rd and 9. He's sacked. They got to give him the sack there. He got sacked. Gray's going to have to kick the field goal. Evo Badger. In my foghorn, leghorn voice, I do declare the Badgers will go 7-5 regular season, 8-5 after the bowl win. Thank you, Eva Badger. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you very much. We're going to book that in, Eva Badger. We are going to book that in. So far, you've got the Badgers winning the Axe, and you've got the Eva Badgers going 7-5 in the regular season and a bowl victory. Thank you, Eva Badger. Very much appreciate it. The field goal is good. And I guess Scarlett was able to kick a field goal because they stopped Gray, whatever. They've all got different rules. Yes, it's because they can't touch the quarterback. That's why they should not have given Julian Sain the touchdown. If it was real football, he would not have been able to score. He got stopped. They got stopped. And it sends a little bit of a... It's getting me a little nervous there. Getting me a little nervous that they gave Julian Sain a touchdown when it was obviously not a touchdown. I think we got some controversy. I think we got some controversy early in the Buckeye spring football game. It's a spring game. Don't lose your marbles, Craig. Okay. Julian Sain in the shotgun. It looks like Jackson is with them again in the backfield. Good throw. Beautiful throw to the tight end. First down, Scarlett. Now that was a nice throw. That was a very nice throw by Sain. Hold on 1 second here. Okay, hold on. Okay, we'll keep that up. John Grove, the Buckeyes might finally have a kicker. Now on that first drive for the white team, number 9, Tavian St. Clair, he had a couple really good throws on that first drive. That one throw was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Julian Sain just threw a very good football. And there he's taken off. They want Sain to take off more in year number 2. They want Sain to use his legs more. Ryan Day has made that very apparent. He said that in public quite a few times. We want Julian Sain to use his legs more in year 2. Be more aggressive. Take off and run. Take off and run. We got a 3rd and 4. Scarlett is up 10-2. Looks like it's an audible. It could be an audible. Sain back to pass. It's tipped. It's intercepted. It's intercepted going the other way. White has picked off Julian Sain. Ooh, I don't know. Oh, my God. Oh, Yeah, the hands were in front of Saint's face.
Oh my God!
Tavian St. Clair. Let's see what he does here with the second time with the football. Tavian hands it off. That was a good move by number 29. That was a very good move by number 29. And I'm trying to figure out who that is. I do not know who number 29 is. He's not on the rock. I don't see him. Somebody let me know who 29 is, running back for Scarlet. I don't have him listed here. I do not have number 29 listed. Is that Bo Jackson's new number? Does Bo Jackson have a new number? I got Bo Jackson. It's number 25. Who is that man? If anybody knows, let me know who number 29 is. He likes to go left. He likes to go left. Stormy Cyclone, does anyone but the athletic departments and coaches want the NIL arms race to end? Well, the players don't, right? The players don't want NIL money to end. Another reason why there probably isn't going to be a CBA, because why would labor want a CBA? Remember, in the CBA world of the NFL and the NBA, the NIL deals are nothing like the touchdown. That's a real touchdown by Scarlett. Uh-oh. Tavian St. Clair is dealing it this early in the spring football game. This guy looks great. Look at that throw. Tight spiral, over the top. Bam! Out of his hands. Now again, I'm a professional. Don't try to do this at home. As a professional, we're not supposed to overreact to a spring football game. However, guess what? I'm not a professional. Tavian St. Clair is outperforming Julian Sand. I think I think there's some drama. There is some drama building up in Columbus, Ohio. Ryan Thomas, could the Gophers beat the Buckeye scout team 50-3? The Gophers would win 50-3, would give them a field goal, Ryan Thomas. We would give them a field goal. I think it's a pretty fair game here, Christopher Hooter. But I'm not sure how it's structured. I don't know if it's ones against twos both ways. I don't know. I don't know if it's a mix. I do not know. Now, the number one running back is not with the number one quarterback. So that might be an indication that the two teams are mixed, Mr. Christopher Hooter, but I really don't know. Julian saying back to pass. Incomplete. Throws it wide left. Throws it wide left. And it looks like it's just offense versus defense anyways. Right? So we're not really having two teams Hold on here. Oh, it's caught. It was tipped, and it was caught. Now, I'm being a little tough on Julian Sayin, and I shouldn't be, because look at the season that he had last year. A truly remarkable season. First-year starter, and he was so accurate with his throws. Julian Sayin was excellent. Excellent quarterback for the Buckeyes last year. Excellent. And they're looking for him to do a little bit more running this year. But my goodness, he was so efficient last year. Fourth down. And we got Carla Jenkins TV. Thank you so much, Carla. $5 holla. Now, Carla Jenkins TV, the best in Ohio, stay in Ohio. Tavian will have the Buckeyes in good hands. Go Bucks. Look, I watched a Buckeye spring game many years ago, and there was this guy named Joe Burrow. He comes in, and he looked absolutely great. He was fantastic. And we know what happened. He went to the LSU Tigers. And then he won a national championship. Now, hopefully we see Tavian once again. I know they got other quarterbacks they want to go in here, but hopefully they get a third series. I want to see this guy more, because how tall is he? How tall is he's 6'4". He looks 6'4" out there. He looks like a 6'4" dude who's got a pretty good quick release. And a couple of those throws, man, those were elite throws. I want to see a little bit more of them. I want to see this drive here. We're going to keep an eye on this drive. Freshman out of Bellefontaine, Ohio. Again, he's not going to be, Julian Sayin is QB1. Of course he is. He's going to be one of the leading Heisman contenders at the beginning of the season. Between Julian Sayin, between Darren Mensah, between Malachi Tony, Arch Manning, Julian Sayin is right in the mix. Chris Henry Jr. Who's Chris Henry? Oh, Chris Henry Jr. caught the touchdown pass. Thank you, Buckeye Greg. Appreciate it. Son of Sarah Greg is salivating at the 0.1% chance that the Gophers could get St. Clair in the portal. It's less than 0.1%. It's less than 0.1%. Dante Moore will be there as well. John Teal, you're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. Dante Moore is going to be in the mix as well. Okay, let me see. Okay, Tavian is out here again now. Tavian St. Clair, who's looked great so far. Low snap, scoops it up. Pete Sampson. Notre Dame. Oh, almost picked off. Breaking news, Pete Sampson. Here's the thing about CJ Carr's performance in the scrimmage. It looked like he broke in the office of Chris Ash last night, copied the call sheet, and knew all the defensive plays before they were run. It just seems like Carr has an answer for everything. For everything. Pete Sampson, long-time 20-plus year beat writer of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish football team. CJ Carr getting to another level this year. Look out. Notre Dame is going to be one. Tavian St. Clair did it again. First down. Okay, he looks very good. He looks very good. He looks scary good. The Buckeyes have themselves a backup quarterback. He's rolling out. Going back, throwing it. Look at that throw. Oh my gosh. And it was incomplete. It might have been a little late, but my goodness, what another throw. He's got no problem. The receivers got to slow down and aggressively go after the football. My goodness, Tavian St. Clair. It's the Tavian show. Second and 10. Hands it off. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Okay. Let me see here. Third and 10. St. Clair back to pass. Oh, almost picked off. Man, he's got a cannon, but almost picked off. And we've got this other breaking news. The most important breaking news. My beloved Minnesota Golden Gophers going for a national championship in the Final Four of women's gymnastics. One more time for all of Minnesota for a national championship. And they're going against, who are they going against? Who are the Golden Gophers going against? This Cinderella team. They're going against number 1 Oklahoma, number 2 LSU, number 3 Florida, Fort Worth, Texas, 3 o'clock Central Time on ESPN2. The Golden Gophers, they came into this as a 19th seed. They were able to get to the Nationals in the top 8. They were able to win. They did, top 16. Top 8. They were able to come in second place in the 14 pool. And now the Minnesota women's gymnastic team is going against the top 3 rated schools in the country. Cinderella story. Can they keep it going? Can they beat the evil Oklahoma Sooners, the evil LSU Tigers, and the evil Florida Gators to win the women's national championship? Go Gophers, Sky-Yuma, Julian Sand. They're going to consider that a sack. Notre Dame, Bimba 75-79. Notre Dame will be number one at some point. Look at their schedule. And they've got Miami at home, correct, Bimba? And I think that game is later in the season. Yeah, I think Notre Dame, again, they play Texas A&M, don't they? I might be wrong on that, but I know they play Miami. That's another sack. The left line, the right side of that O-line is getting mauled. Is getting mauled by the gray. The gray is coming back in this game. The defense is coming back in this game. Gophers versus the SEC. Bring it on, Southeastern Conference. Bring it on, number 1, Oklahoma. Number 2, LSU Tigers. Number 3, Florida Gators. Number 19, Minnesota is going to take you all down today. Dumped it off. Jacoby Jackson. All right. My local high school has a tougher schedule than Notre Dame. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. People are taking elbow shots at the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Let's take a look at their schedule here. Let's take a look at their schedule. They open against Wisconsin. Then they play Mighty Rice. Then Michigan State. Then Purdue. 3 out of the first 4 games, it's again against Big Ten opponents. None of those Big Ten schools had a winning record last year. None of those 3 Big Ten schools had a winning record last year. Purdue did not win a Big Ten game for the second year in a row. Notre Dame beat Purdue something like 66-6 or 66-9. I don't remember the score, but it was a thumping. And then Notre Dame plays at North Carolina, at home against Stanford. BYU and Miami. Those are the 2 games. I knew there was 2 games, and they got to play SMU. At minimum, Notre Dame goes 10-2, right? At minimum. At minimum. Plus, the Fighting Irish are completely stacked on defense. That defense is not going to give up many points. I tell you what, Gray's taken over. The defense is taken over in the spring football game. Scarlett is the offense. Scarlett is struggling out there. They had a big lead. Now they're down 19-17. Tavian St. Clair, who's looked very good, hands it off. Ryan Thomas, Notre Dame's toughest games are at home against Miami, BYU. Alex Armistead, thanks for coming on in. Appreciate it. Chris Henry Jr., who's already got a TD today. St. Clair back to pass, rolling right. Look at that. Look, incomplete. Chris Henry Jr. dropped it. Chris Henry dropped it. These receivers are not doing St. Clair any favors out there today. You got to catch that, young man. You got to drop into that spot. You got to catch the football. When you got your quarterback rolling right, when you got your quarterback when half the field now is limited to you, you got to find that spot. You got to sit down. You got to give your quarterback a big target. And when he puts it on the numbers, you got to come down with it. Bad drop by Chris Henry. We got a 3rd and 9. The defense is starting to take over. The offense is beginning to struggle. Incomplete. The Gray has taken over the football game, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, go Buckeyes, Alex Armistead. He laid out for it. Ooh, he almost got it. 4th and 9. New offensive coordinator Arthur Smith. Your offense is losing, Arthur Smith. Punting formation. Thank you all for joining us for a spring football game watch party. I do appreciate it. Next Saturday is the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Thank goodness they're not playing the spring football game here on September 18th because the temperature right now is 36 degrees. But that's not all. It feels like 26 degrees. The wind is going to be happening all day long. And I've already been out shopping, and the wind it's bad out there. It is cold. It is rainy. It is freezing. And again, the Gophers need to wait until the back end of April to get a decent spring football game in because our weather is just so cold in April. St. Clair. No, I don't know who that is. Who's that quarterback? Mason Meigs, senior out of Dublin, Ohio. Mason Meigs is in the game. Mason Meigs. Too many drop passes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Too many drop passes. Mason Meigs back to pass. Incomplete. The defense is beginning to dominate in the spring football game. The defense is gray. They were down 17-6. And now they're up 23-17. 17 unanswered points by the defense. Okay, good throw. You had protection. It's going to be 4th and 2. They should go for it. They got to go for it. Let the old man senior have a little bit more playing time here. Go for it. Go for it, Ryan Day. Go for it. 81 degrees and 90% humidity in Atlanta. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Oh, they gave him first down. They gave him first down. All right, that's fine, I guess. Ryan Thomas, the Irish will be 12-0 and be the number 1 seed only to lose in the semifinals. The hockey playoffs begin today. The Minnesota Wild and the Minnesota Timberwolves both play. Both play. And here is, you want more proof? You want more proof that I am the re-elected mayor of Loserville City? The Minnesota Timberwolves and the Minnesota Wild have never, ever, both at the same time gotten out of the first round of a playoff series. Not in the same year. It hasn't happened. The Minnesota Timberwolves the last 2 years have won the first 2 series, gone to the Western Conference Championship and lost. But the Wild did not win a first round playoff series. Never in the history of an NBA basketball team and an NHL hockey team in the same state that has been around for a long time There has not been one single year where both teams have gotten out of the first round of the playoffs. And forget about the Wild. The Minnesota North Stars existed from 1989 to 1993. The Timberwolves and the North Stars in those 4 years never both got past the first round. And it's not going to happen this year either. Because the Timberwolves are not favored to go over the Nuggets. And the Wild, they're going to, you know what the Wild are going to do. They had a very good season this year, but they're not, again, only in Minnesota, only with this guy as the mayor, it's not going to happen. Unbelievable futility here in Minnesota. Mason Meigs, 2nd and 10. Mason Meigs, 2nd and 10. Oh, what a crazy throw that was. Incomplete. I don't know what the heck happened there. I don't know what Mason Meigs was doing there. Also, we're going to keep our eye out on the supposedly UFO files that supposedly are going to be released here. And it's imminent. It is absolutely imminent. Hopefully we see some documents. That's a holding. Hopefully we see some documents that we haven't seen before. And I want to see, now if it's true, I want to see documents on describing crash retrievals coming from the government to independent private company contractors. I want to see that because we're not going to be able to get a FOIA request to be able to see communications on a private company talking about how they got something from the government. But I want to see documents. That's what I want to see. The crash retrieval documents. If this is true, that's what I want to see. Plus, I think the first couple of videos, first couple of still pictures, at least one or two of them have to be really interesting. Not just radar, not just something that a radar guy would look at and say, wow, that is interesting. No, something like a moron like me, be able to watch the video and say, okay, that seems a little bit weird. That seems to be some object that shows one of the 5 observables, things that we cannot do, the physics that we cannot achieve yet. But I'm not expecting something. Not all these files are going to be released at once. But the first batch, there's got to be a couple of them in there that makes everybody kind of go, all right, I want to know more. I want to know more. What is this? Is this prosaic? Is this some solar wind stuff that we cannot figure out? Is these balls of plasma? Is that hydrogen mixing up with? Is there something that we do not know? Something that we do not understand? Greg has guaranteed a Wild Stanley Cup final. Greg, is forward pass at a Gopher game considered a UFO? It was until the last 2 seasons. The forward pass has not been the problems for my beloved Golden Gophers the last 2 seasons. It's been the running game that has left us completely. And one of our problems with that is we can't keep any of our running backs healthy. So, 24-17, Gray. 3rd and 1. Looks like St. Clair's back in there, huh? He did not get it. He did not get it. Gray is absolutely dominating. The defense has taken over the spring football game. Okay, we're going to open up the phone lines. If you want to call in and talk anything about college football that your heart desires, give us a call. Again, we're treating this a little bit different than we treat a normal watch party, obviously. Phone number is 763-260-1333, 763-260-1333. And again, thank you so much for joining us. The Buckeyes watch party, the offense took over early in this game, up big, 17-3, 17-2, something like that. And Gray, the defense is Gray. They have completely dominated since early in the game. Gray is up 27-17. Defense versus offense, and the defense is winning the first half in the Ohio State Buckeyes spring watch party. Phone lines are open. Incomplete. Good quarterback run. I don't know who that number 13 is. Again, the roster that I have, I do not have him listed. Luke Fahey, Mission Viejo, Fahey. No, that's not it. Ooh, he almost caught that.
Call from
Jose, fight on.
Jose, fight on. USC Trojan, the floor is yours. Thanks for calling, sir. I appreciate it.
Oh, it's a nice sunny day out here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that it's still winter over there.
Yeah, it still is. Hopefully next week we have a decent Saturday so a few people can come out and watch the Gophers. What is on your mind,
yeah,
sir?
I think. Well, I mean, we got Mekhi Brown, the soon-to-be five-star when they update the rankings, committed. So we're just really excited about having Luke Wafel and Mekhi Brown eventually being the starting ends down the road. Mekhi doesn't come in until 27, but the future is looking really, really bright. And it's kind of always find myself having to remind folks and the fans in the Trojan chat rooms, they say, "Oh, this is Lincoln Riley's fifth year," and I'm like, "Yeah, we've only had a GM and a proper front office for now going on our second year." we just cashed our first Big Ten media revenue paycheck last April. So it really is just year two. So the Trojan fans kind of just listen to what the media outlets are saying, and hot seat, and they got to do it this year. It's win or bust, and a lot of the Oregon fans too seem to jump in there and say, "Oh, so it's natty or bust for you guys, huh?" And they're just setting, it's like rat poison, unrealistic expectations. We'll be content with making the playoffs, but we knew this was going to be a long project. We just got the new athletic facilities up and running. This has been a project that's been in the works for a long time now, and it wasn't going to get done overnight. But yeah, we're just really excited about the future right now. As long as we can stay healthy, these running backs keep giving us fits.
Yeah.
Not
Is
staying healthy,
Waymon Jordan and King Miller, are they healthy right now, or?
King Miller is. Waymon Jordan is out at least through late October. He re-injured his knee that he had issues with last year.
Yeah.
They went in there and did a cleanup procedure, and he should be ready to go come November. But it'll be King Miller, and we got Ryan Wormley, a freshman, that's ready to go. We might even see Honor Falave Johnson, the athlete, getting some time. He's projected to be mostly at safety, but if we need him at running back, he might come in on a third down situation or something, third and long. So yeah, there's a lot of options, a lot of weapons.
Yeah.
So we're very excited.
Now it's time.
And
it's time to break through, though, right? It's time to break through.
Yeah. We got to make the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah. And I happen to think you will. So you got that going for you.
Yeah, we got to pull. I feel confident we're going to pull off at least one underdog upset.
Yeah.
I think more than likely it's going to be against Oregon at home. Some think it's Indiana. I don't think they dropped off that much. I definitely don't see us, pulling one on Ohio State. But I definitely think we could pull one of those big three games: Oregon, Ohio State, Indiana in our favor. I'm just leery of not tripping up, and like we lost to Illinois on the road last year. Just one of those games where we had the lead and we blew it at the end because we didn't have depth on our defense. That was our Achilles heel. Our players were just tired in the fourth quarter every game defensively, and Lincoln Riley's air raid doesn't really help that much. Just inherently, you're going to spend 55-60% of the time on the field with the defense because the offense will score so fast. But that's just part of the nature of the system.
Yeah.
But yeah, so how are you feeling about the Wild and I think it's the Golden Knights they're playing in the first round? Yeah, Quinn Hughes.
Well, no, I mean the Minnesota Wild are they're a very good hockey team, but they're the Minnesota Wild. That's the problem. I mean, so it's they have every opportunity to win the whole thing. Now there's a certain element of puck luck in hockey, and there always has been, and there always will be. Puck luck has never gone Minnesota's way. We are the state of hockey, but puck luck has never been in the mix. So can Wild get some puck luck? Can they get the puck bouncing their way? Can they get a free goal? Can they, things like it just never happens. It just never happens. I feel better about the Wild than the Timberwolves. And I think the Timberwolves have a very good basketball team. I think they're very talented, but none of the parts have all been healthy at once. And Anthony Edwards has been out so much. I don't think the Timberwolves are going to get out of the first round. But if I would say that the Wild will get out of the first round this year. How about them apples?
Yeah, I can definitely see that. The Vegas Knights have always been greasy, and I've been a Colorado Avalanche fan since '96. I had a friend there and invited me out to Denver to go camping, and then took me to a hockey game, and it was the Avs against somebody, and I've just been following the Avs ever since. I hadn't really followed hockey before that. but yeah, we got everyone healthy so far that we needed. It's always hindered us in the past. And I remember the Golden Knights knocking us out, just playing grimy. They just kept grinding on us. Just, you know how the refs let a lot more go in the playoffs unless it's egregious, or prevented a scoring play. But yeah, those Knights, I'm sure their system is still the same. Just grind it out and get in the dirty areas and win the puck, get those 50-50s. And then hockey's always been a strange animal in its own right when it gets to the playoffs. Like the Montreal Canadiens would just get a hot goaltender like Jose Theodore or whoever it was that they had. They'd be the eighth seed and run it all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals. Yeah. It just, a lot of times it's just how hot your goalie gets for whatever reason, and then you're just impervious to anything a first, second, or third seed might even throw at you. So it's always interesting. It's a true second season where whatever happened in the first season is irrelevant. And then the Avs being the number one seed, winning the President's Cup again, it doesn't make me feel any comfortable. I just know it's you're starting from scratch. Like Kurt Signetti says, the score is 0-0 every quarter, every game, and you're starting from scratch. Yeah. But it's always interesting. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Growing up, and then go ahead.
Yeah. No, you go ahead.
Well, just growing up watching the NHL playoffs, of course, it was a different animal then. Watching the Boston Bruins and the Philadelphia Flyers in the 70s, late 70s, mid 70s, late 70s, they would grind the heck out of you. They would beat you up. And then suddenly the New York Islanders, the first 4 years of the 1980s, they had so much talent that grinding didn't work. And then it sort of went back to the grind. And then there was this guy named Wayne Gretzky in the Edmonton Oilers who was so skillful and dominant. So it kind of goes in cycles. It bounces back and forth a little bit. You need to be healthy. You need to have a hot goalie. And you need to have puck luck. You need to have things go your way. So, again, now you say you're a Colorado fan in hockey?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a friend of mine invited me out in '96, and that was their first year from becoming the Quebec Nordiques. They had just moved to Colorado in '96, and that's when my friend invited me out. Yeah.
And then you got hooked.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially live, when you're watching it live.
Yes.
Nice and chilly in there.
Yeah.
So much faster in person than it is on TV.
Yeah.
It's almost equivalent to being at a concert is the best way I can describe it to someone. If folks in the PATC family have never been to a hockey game, it's kind of like the best thing I can compare it to is being at a concert. Just the energy, just the electricity that's running through that arena. Yeah. But yeah, that's when I got hooked. And then something that's been on my mind with the silos, I remember you saying on a show a month or two ago that Greg Sankey read some book by some British author concerning the English Premier League. Yeah. And how silos work fantastically for them.
And he showed a picture of the front cover of the book on his X account. He took a picture and he showed it.
I'm going to have to look that up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's college football has a lot of similarities to that European soccer where there's hundreds of teams spread out throughout, Europe and other parts of the world, but primarily in Europe, over 100, just like college football, over 100 clubs. And really the only thing that they could do to govern themselves with that amount of sheer volume of teams, they couldn't all agree on everything. The German league wants to set up a certain rules a certain way. The Spanish league, La Liga, set up their rules in a certain way. The English Premier League was a little bit tighter with the restrictions, as far as salary cap goes. Even to a certain extent, the MLS, our American league here, is very, very tight with the salary cap just to be able to, make the more parity, more equal balance. And just because a lot of teams, it's a startup league in the MLS still. Only 25 years they've been around. And really for college football, I don't see anything else working as far as governance is concerned than silos. It's like you have to go to the English Premier League and European soccer went to, where the Premier League has its own 20 teams. And of course, they cycle in teams with relegation and from the lower of the farm leagues or whatever. Not even farm leagues. It's, in separate entity clubs, but they have 20 teams as a base, but really it's 40 clubs that they have in their silo that they promote from the lower league if they finish in the top 3 in the bottom league. Same thing with the Spanish La Liga. They have their 40 club silo. College football, I don't see how anything else could work other than that with governance. I don't see Congress coming to the rescue. And if they do come to the rescue, it might be in a form that is not conducive to universities as far as the academic aspect is concerned.
It's coming. It's coming, isn't it?
Yeah, especially for leagues that don't like the status quo, and that's the SEC. There's no other option for them, and whether it's 5 months or 5 years, it behooves them to go ahead and do the silo, just like European soccer has, and the European leagues have flourished. The English Premier League submits their 4 AQs to the champions, UEFA Champions League. The Spanish League sends their 4 AQs to the Champions League, and that's what would work for our CFP. You have your 4 AQs or whatever, 5, 6 AQs. The top 4 or 5 teams of each respective league goes into the Champions League, which is our CFP. And that's where you have the Manchester United versus Real Madrid. That's where you have your Georgia versus Ohio State is in the CFP Champions League. And because the demand is so high, but the supply is so low because you're not going to get Ohio State versus Texas in the regular season. You can only see that in the CFP Champions League tournament. The demand it just skyrockets through the roof because the supply is so low. And really that's, I think, media-wise is the best option. Revenue-wise, it increases it greatly. And governance is the only option to take, the only road as far as governance is concerned.
Yeah.
But that's just something that I've been discussing with my dog and my neighbor's cat.
Well,
all right, go for Godfather.
There's been a lot of work behind the scenes building this out just in case they have to pull the trigger. So I think we're going to know soon after, somewhere around late May, I think, on what the SEC, are they going to put out another threat or are they going to actually do something? But I think we're going to know a lot more by the end of May than we do know by the end of April.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they could still play, they don't have to exclusively play 12 conference games. They could play one FCS game, perhaps one G5 game, and then jump into their 10 league conference schedule if they'd like. If for whatever reason G6 schools really aren't that much of a threat as far as governance is concerned. I don't see an issue there. They could still play one FCS, one G5, or they could play 11 conference games and one FCS just to support the local programs nearby. It doesn't have to be exclusively 12 conference games like they do in Europe, where they only play all of their 20 clubs within themselves all season long. Yeah. But yeah, that's just something that I've been thinking. All right, thank you so much, Go for Godfather. I love all the hard work you do and the live shows. Greatly appreciate it. Live watch party.
Yep, beautiful. Thank you, sir.
Fight on.
Fight on.
My pleasure.
USC. Beautiful call by Jose. Fight on. He is enjoying the heat and humidity in Atlanta, GA. We've got a super chat. Very kind super chat from Mr. Helmer Henderson. Given athletics is just the front porch, so to speak, can you see Florida State taking an offer from the Big Ten that is less than what the SEC offers? Boy, that is a very good question. I'm going to say it's not likely, but I don't know for sure. Because I think Florida State, I don't think. I think at the end of the day, Florida State. Now, again, the Florida State Seminole fan base might be lean in the Big Ten because of what's happened between ESPN, SEC, and Florida State. But I do think the administrators would love a chance to go to the Big Ten. But if they had an offer from the SEC, they might take the Southeastern Conference offer straight up if they were both equal in media money, for example. So I think they would. I don't think they would take the Big Ten for less. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong on that. But I would bet on they would take the Southeastern Conference offer. Thank you for the $5 Holler Hammer Henderson. Very good question. Very good question. You always have great comments, Hammer Henderson. Thank you for your generosity. Obviously, I don't know the answer for sure. Just a guess. I think they would take the SEC offer, and they might take the SEC offer straight up if they were both considered equal in monetary. Yogi Buck. Yes, less than SEC, but not less than the full share. Buckeye Greg disagrees with Greg. Florida State would take the Big Ten offer, even if they offered less than the SEC. Morris Simmons says, we know our value. It's a full share. Bob Swanger, I don't see anyone getting more than a full share. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've been on the air for an hour and 20 minutes. I think we're going to close this up. The Buckeyes, the defense has taken over. I do like the backup quarterback of the Buckeyes, Tavian St. Clair. I do like his makeup. I do like his throwing style, over the top, his tight spiral, 6'4". He looks pretty good. Julian Sain is going to be the star quarterback. Bo Jackson is going to be the star running back. Jeremiah Smith, and they've got some other wide receivers in back of them. Brandon Innes and Holt. They're going to be absolutely loaded, ready to go for the Buckeyes. They got to replace those big-time wide receivers from last year. But Jeremiah Smith, Chris Henry Jr., I think they're going to be okay. I think the Buckeyes are going to be just fine. Again, thank you for joining us here at our Ohio State watch party. I want to thank Hollywood Caden, Mowing After Dark, Buckeye Greg, Bill G, Evil Badger, Carla Jenkins, and Hammer Henderson for your generosity. I very much appreciate it for helping us keep the lights on and grow the channel. Again, we're going to be coming on live tomorrow, probably late on a Sunday night, and I'm going to have it all the I Do Declares, all written up for everybody to watch and look at and read and have a good time reading those. And again, we'll be bringing on more I Do Declare comments from you all, I think. And I think we're going to have a lot of fun with that during the year. I want to thank you all once again. We'll be coming on live late tomorrow night. Until next time, from all of us at College Football's Peek Around the Corner, to all of you, please you all take great care of each other. And as always, God, family, Golden Gophers, see you tomorrow night.